Hello, and welcome to the Math Review. In this lesson, we're going over how to divide decimals. We'll go over this example right here. And if you have any questions at all, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. We love to help. Now, on with the show. So in this example, we've got 6.28 divided by 0.02. Now, whenever we're dividing by decimals, there are 3 steps we'll have to follow. But before I follow any of these steps, the first thing I'm going to do is take this division notation and change it into long division notation. And before I can do that, I need to make sure I know which number is which. In other words, which number is the dividend and which number is the divisor. 6.28, this number here in this notation, the first number is our dividend. And our second number, in this case 0.02, is our divisor. And when we're writing this in long division notation, the dividend is what's getting divided. Therefore, it goes inside the house of long division notation. And the 0.02 is what's doing the dividing. So that means it's going to be outside the house in long division notation. Now that I've got this set up, I can go and follow each of these 3 steps. Step number 1, turn the divisor into a whole number. But how do we do that? Well, we've got to move the decimal point to the right as needed. So I don't want this to be 0.02, I just want this to be 2. So how many places will I have to move my decimal point in order for that to happen? So to get the decimal point from here to the end of the number, which is here, we'd have to move it 2 places. So now our decimal point is going to be here. So in step 2 it says we've got to move the decimal point in the dividend, that's 6.28, the decimal point right here, is going to have to move the same number of places as it did in the divisor. Remember, we had to move it 2 places to make it a whole number. So here, we're going to have to move it the exact same number of places, and that's 2. So let's do that. 1, 2. So our decimal point will now be here. And because there's a lot of moving and arrows and a lot of work here, I like to use step 3, which is just to rewrite the question. So this is no longer 0.02, it's just 2. And this isn't 6.28 anymore, it's just 628. So this is our new problem, and that's not too bad. So let's rewrite this higher up so we have more space to do our work. Much better. So what I tell my students to do is to draw lines between their place values. And that's just to make sure their work is neat and they're more likely to get the correct answer. And now that we've done all this, we can start our division. Starting with the first column. Can 2 go into 6? It sure can. Well, how many times? That would be 3. So we put that right above this number because 3 times 2 is 6. I'll write 6 here and subtract it. 6 minus 6 is 0. Even though my remainder is 0, it doesn't mean I'm done because I still have a number in the right column. So I'll bring that down and repeat the process. How many times can 2 go into 2? Well, that would be 1 time because 1 times 2 is 2. I'll write that here and then subtract it. 2 minus 2 is again 0. Again, our remainder is 0, but we're not done. And the reason why is because we still have a number in the column to the right. So I'll bring down that 8 and then repeat the process. How many times can 2 go into 8? Well, that's 4. So I'll put a 4 above this 8 because 4 times 2 is 8. I'll write that 8 here, I'll subtract that, and again, my remainder is 0. But this time we're really done. And why is that? Well, that's because we don't have any more numbers in the column to the right. So we're officially done. And our final answer is 314.